Okay. I think you can see the blinking light. Put that on. Turn my audio recording on. While that's happening, I've got video, so I will turn the truck on. And it's still running. I've got this. So it's showing 2. Oh, sorry, it's showing 0. 0 is what it should be showing. Okay, we've got audio. It is the 6th of March, 2019, and we're doing a little test on the truck. So what we've got is 4 connections to the forward, reverse, left, and right. And actually, I think the code is set up to do 1 is steer. I'll just look at it here. 1 is radio right, which is pin 11. 2 is radio left, which is pin 10. 4 is radio forward, which is pin 8. And 8 is radio reverse, which is pin 9. Not that that made any particular order. It was simply I had to choose them, and that worked out good for the wiring. So I'm just going to make sure this is in. Yeah, it's in view. So we're going to go forward. Press the button, and nothing happens. Why? Okay. Just going to make sure that the truck is on. Oh, that's disappointing. Let's, okay. Forward, nothing. Reverse, nothing. Wow, that's very disappointing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect. Well, first I'm going to shut it off. Then I'm going to disconnect the USB, power down the Arduino. We will try to gently pry this off, and this end is not that easy. The pins come out quite easy. It's the homemade pin that's actually a wire for the ground that doesn't come out that easy. Okay, now that I have the Arduino disconnected, we will turn it back to on and see. Okay, that's quite confusing, so I'm going to turn that off again. And V in and ground, so that will, apparently I will drop it on the ground and straighten out the ground pin a little bit. Okay. I guess. the ground pin. That's the rest of the pins. Shove it in there. Plug in the micro USB. Have it set up there. I don't think it matters. I'll plug this in first. I have to download the code. Control U. And then turn the power switch on. Control Shift M. Okay, and it's showing 0. I'll press the button and nothing happens. I've got all of the inputs set for, I got all the pins actually set for input, except for the 4 that are outputs. Maybe I should set those for inputs as well. I can do that quickly here. Okay, so everything's set for input. Not sure what's going on here. Okay, so we will Okay, so I'm not sure how I'm going to show this. Perhaps I will flip the monitor down a little bit. I think you can still sort of see the LEDs. I got to get this out of the way. Okay, what do we see here? You can't really see either of them. So the monitor, okay, well, the monitor is not really visible all that well. So what we're going to do is hit, and my hand is covering the wheels so you can't see them. Let's try it this way. So you can see that the wheels are going to go forward. And I got a number of 4, and then you got to put reverse, and I got a number of 8, and that's what the blinking on the LEDs is. I'm going to turn right, and we got a value of 1, and then I'm going to turn left, and I got a value of 2. So I have the outputs. I had the outputs just turned. Or just set the outputs, but apparently they were off, so they were interfering with the radio signals. So I can do one at a time. I can go forward, which is 4, and I can turn at the same time, which is 5, or I can turn the other way, which is 6. I can leave it as full turn. And I can go backwards, which will give me 10. Or I can turn this way and go forward, backwards, which is 9. So that's just using binary arithmetic to make it a little bit, to be able to show combinations of directions. So this code I am going to save, and after this, what do I need to do? File, save. He installed it on the truck because it doesn't really fit in the truck. I had to make a change to the code, and then I downloaded it. So now the next version of the software is just going to be called Run Forward. And what it's going to do is it's going to wait for 5 seconds, and it's going to run the motor forward for 1 second. I've got to go find some example code on how to digital write. Control. Okay, I'm just going to copy this because I have some code for turning on the LED. And I'm going to copy it into here. Now I'm going to file, save as LRW minion run forward. And it's not going to say anything about radio because it's going to completely ignore the radio. So if we get to this position, it's going to write pin forward, which is actually run forward is the name of the variable, so we'll just use the variable name. Run forward. Now the problem that I have with all of my variables is trying to keep straight whether there's what the capitalization is and whether there's I'm going to run it for 1,000 milliseconds, and then I'm going to digital write to run forward. And delay 1,000. Okay. So that means I have to make run forward an output. I'm actually going to turn my remote off. So that it's not tempted to do something stupid. We're going to save, Control U for upload. And it is probably just going to blink a couple of times and stay. See if we're still in. I'll move it a little bit. Okay, Control Shift M. Okay, it is running along when it gets. Okay, that was forward. That is awesome. It's going to do it again. Okay, it's going to do it again eventually, I guess. I am very happy with that. So now I am going to write some code. First, I'm going to power that down so it doesn't keep doing that. So LRW minion run forward. So then I had run all 4, which would be a way to exercise all 4 directions. So steer left, steer right, run forward, run reverse are all outputs. And so I'm going to comment out some code that is looking at the remote. And every time I hit enter, it's going to change command. If command equals 1, we're going to do that one. Command equals 2. We're going to go reverse. 3. We're going to go left. And 4, we're going to go right. Thinking about how I did my testing when I did the first minion, it's possible that I put my stepson's Greenlee meter into resistance and checked out the pin configuration, which would have put 9 volts onto the pins and probably would have blew up the chip. So I could have done everything right. I could have soldered it right. I could have hooked up all the pins right, and then I could have used a tester that put 9 volts onto it. Which sounds like something that's horribly stupid, but when you're not paying attention, it is actually quite easy to do stupid things. So let's just check that we're still, we got 9 minutes left here. Check that the audio is still going. Looks like it is. Okay, so I'm going to plug her back in. Or plug the USB back in, and I'm going to compile. And this thing is possibly it could run forward. Hopefully, I don't have it to the point where it starts going forward and then gets into trouble. Nope. Okay. So I'm going to hit enter, and it, you should see it. Okay. Reverse, there's reverse. And then we should be steering right. And there we are, and then we're going to steer left. That is great. Success. So I will take the success and run with it. And I just saved over top of my code. I don't have any backups. Well, I'm going to save as anyway. So this one was supposed to be called LRW Minion Run All 4. So that's what it's called. So I verified that I can go forward, reverse. My next step is to cut the traces on the control board between my outputs and my input so that I can read the inputs from the radio and turn on the outputs, and they're not fighting like they were earlier. So I don't have enough video to keep doing this. I'm going to stop the video, and I will stop the audio.